Hello, people. Um, this is directly a message to Ubisoft. I'm always wondering why they not making a remastered game for the Assassin's Creed, the very first Assassin's Creed game, and Far Cry 2. Far Cry 2. Because my one of my favorite first shooter games, what I actually really got into, was actually Far Cry 2. And I actually felt in love with the whole franchise of the first shooter game, free roam first shooter game, Far Cry 2, and the game itself was that realistic, and just the way how the game is, and it's based on a civil. A, the game itself, like Far Cry itself, was actually the Far Cry 2 game was based on a war in Africa, a civil war in Africa, and yeah, like that's what it was based on. And I really love the story about it and the main villain in it, the Jackal, and all that stuff. And I'm always wondering why, like, they can make a Far Cry 3 remastered, but they can't just go out their way just to make a Far Cry 2 remastered. Because really, Far Cry 2 was a very, very beautiful game, and it was kind of like ahead of its time, especially if I want to, I can repair it to as a PS4 game because really the way how the graphics were like in that game, man, was absolutely stunning. Like if you were walking right in the savannah, right in Africa, right, and you were like, and the sun was rising and the sun was setting and stuff like that. It gives practically you see the glare coming off the trees and stuff like that. And then especially when you're swimming underwater, you can actually see the glare. Like when you're looking up on the water, you can see the glare shining back down. It was a beautiful game, and especially the environment itself. Like it absolutely was beautiful. And I just don't know why Ubisoft didn't went out their way just to go out and make a bloody game like that. Because really, remake the whole game, man. Like remaster the game, like because it was a damn right gorgeous game of its time because it was actually ahead of its time in its own rights because and the way how the gun mechanics work in the game because I like the way how the gun mechanics were working in this game because like you can practically cook off a gun, you can actually jam a gun in this game and that's realistic. That's why I like about Far Cry 2 a lot. It's realistic. When you're firing a gun so much, that gun is going to end up jamming. Same with like Metro Exodus. The gun's going to end up jamming and you have to clean it and look after your gun and stuff like that. And that's the whole point why I like Far Cry 2. It's realistic. And and yeah, like and especially the realistic part about Far Cry 2 is when I used to play it, you could shoot an RPG in a certain angle, right? If you shoot it on a certain angle, it will drop wherever that where because when you like if you shoot the RPG like just the regular RPG, and if you shoot it, and you see the rocket blasting off, and you see the exhaust fade out like and it's like that exhaust from the rocket is like ran out of like fumes like to still keep traveling upwards and you see that thing just drop right down and it just that was so realistic, man. And especially when you're using a grenade launcher, if you shot like a grenade launcher too, it will come back down. That's why I like about this game, man, because like the Far Cry series itself kind of like lost that realism illusion because that's what I love about the Far Cry 2 because it's realistic, realistic. Because and a lot of people didn't like when your gun blows up in your hand and stuff like that, and that's what happens when you're firing a gun too much and stuff like that. That's got to end up doing that, and really that's the whole point about firing guns. You have to look after them and take good care of them. But that they didn't have that. I think they didn't have that mechanic in the game. But if I was more aware, like you can actually go to your where all your guns are, your gun shop is, and you can go to the next shed and you can actually pick up your gun, like the same gun what you had before blew it up in your hand, and you can just pick that one up again and just go around Africa and start doing missions and stuff like that. And yeah, like I just don't know why Ubisoft haven't made a remaster game for that game yet. It's absolutely crazy because, and I bet you any money, if they ever made a remaster game for it, a lot of people will buy it. Like myself. I've been a big fan of the Far Cry series, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, these are all my Far Cry collection. I've been a big fan. Far Cry Primal, Far Cry 3, Remastered, the classic, and Far Cry 4, Far Cry 5, and Far Cry New Dawn. I just don't know why they haven't made a remastered for the Far Cry 2. It's absolutely a beautiful game, and it's ahead of its time and stuff like that. It was ahead of its time. Truly, it freaking was. I never played the first one, and you know the thing is, will be a good idea for them to do this too, and put it in the same. Put it all the same. Maybe they should just make a remaster of that game, and have the same kind of mechanics as the same kind of mechanics as inside the. You know, make it like, I don't know, like Far Cry 3, like graphics, and have it like where it's, because I never played the first game, and yeah, I only played the second game, and if they do something like that where they can make a Far Cry 1 remastered, but slash make a Far Cry 2 remastered and make them into a bundle, because that will be, I'll buy that straight away, and I'll be playing first one and the second one straight away ASAP. I'll be buying that when it hits the stores. And that's just my video for Ubisoft, and I'm just wondering why they're not making a remastered for the remastered for Far Cry 2. And I'm always wondering that all the time, and it's just like, it sucks if they're not doing that. Like seriously, like they should make a remastered, like, and they've never been known to do like gaming of the year games and stuff like that, where they can like release a game where it comes with like all the DLC, like when a game hits to a certain point of like where it's a bestseller, and they practically they don't release like one game where it comes with all the DLC in it, because I know Sony does that a lot with their games, but yeah, like it just sucks. Like really, like I just wish they can just make a bloody Far Cry 2 or Far Cry 1 remastered with the game itself, because really Far Cry 2 is practically a masterpiece in my books, because really it's beautiful. And I'm just going to end the video on that note. And I hope you like and subscribe, and if you want to keep on watching videos, press that alarm bell, and thank you for going out your way and your time to watch my videos, and God bless you all. Bye.